let's be honest. 3 weeks ago, when the series began, nobody had New Zealand beating India 3-0 on their bingo cards. Everybody was expecting a 3-0 in favor of India. But since that rainy start in Bangalore to this hot Sunday afternoon in Mumbai, New Zealand has shattered every single preconception and opinion. Uh, we had everybody in the cricket fraternity, people who were following the game, had not just on them and was also on India's ability and where they are at this point in time in Test cricket. 3 weeks on, this is Sunday. We are in front of the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and New Zealand have just beaten India 3-0. India's first ever clean sweep at home in the history in a series where they played more than 3 test matches. Their last clean sweep, and probably the only one, came in 99-2000 when South Africa beat India in a 2-match series, and the series after which Sachin Tendulkar stepped down as captain. That was the last time India had lost a series 2-0. Hello and welcome to the latest episode on Fourths and Sixes. In this episode, we will unpack all that happened in the 3 days of the third test between India and New Zealand in Mumbai, where New Zealand beat India by 25 runs to win the series 3-0, and everything that unfolded in the 2 weeks before as well. Let's first focus on this particular match. Once again, New Zealand won the toss. They started really well. Will Young, Daryl Mitchell did what they have been doing really well. Ashwin struggled, Jadeja struggled, Washington too. India did their best, but not as well as they probably could have, and in the end, they couldn't restrict New Zealand to as low as they could have imagined, but that is not where they lost the plot. By the end of day one, they lost 4 quick wickets, and after that, Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill recovered the Indian team closer to the New Zealand total. They took a slender lead as well. But once again, on a pitch like this, every run matters. Ashwin and Jadeja came back well. They bowled really well in the second innings. Managed to restrict New Zealand to 176, a target of 147. It is not less. It's going to be a tricky target. It's always going to be, because the pitch has turned, bounce. The bounce was a bit higher on one side and lower on the other side. It was behaving differently as well. But India did not help themselves with their batting, especially Captain Rohit Sharma, who himself admitted that he failed as a batter, and he committed a lot of mistakes as a captain tactically as well. The Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, admitted as much after the defeat here in Wankhede. He kicked off the collapse that happened on day 3 in Wankhede with a poor shot selection where he tried to pull Matt Henry and he got caught at mid-wicket. Shubman Gill had a brain fade. Virat Kohli got out. Sarfaraz Khan hit a full toss straight into the hands of the fielder in square leg. Rishabh Pant tried to do once again recover India. He played a brilliant 64, but it was not going to be enough. He cannot be saving India every single time. The senior batters Kohli and Rohit has not been in good form. Mind you, they did not play the Dulip Trophy match, the opening round, which everybody was expected to play. They did not play that. They came into the test series without enough game time against Bangladesh. But since then as well, both Rohit and Kohli has not been able to perform, and it has cost India dearly as well. Rohit admitted that his performance, he's not been batting at his best, and whatever he has tried has not come off in the last few test matches, and it has cost the series as well. But he also said that he's not going to regret taking that chance by pulling Matt Henry, a shot that he has played successfully a lot over the years. But at the same time, he also admitted that he has not spent enough time in the middle. He has not applied himself enough to spend time in the middle and trust his defense and play as long as he would have liked. But in the end, none of it mattered because the result went New Zealand's way. India lost 3-0, probably the most historic series win in the history of New Zealand Test cricket. The greatest achievement for their Test team, coming into the series without Kane Williamson, Rachin Ravindra, Ajaz Patel, Will Young, Daryl Mitchell, Tom Latham, Devon Conway. Everybody has contributed at some point, and everybody has stepped up to make sure that New Zealand went back home with an historic series win. From an Indian perspective, India is going to Australia next. Rohit Sharma said that he is not sure about taking part in the opening test of the series at this point in time. But that's for later. India will be leaving soon enough. They'll have a 3-day match stimulation with India A team that's already there in Australia. But before that, there is something we should be talking about, which is the fact that it could well be the last time India have seen Ashwin and Jadeja together on a cricket field in India. Ashwin had a off series. He had just 9 wickets to show. Jadeja had 16. Washington Sundar had 16. He had an incredible series personally. Often he was left out of batting partners, remaining unbeaten in the end. But Ashwin is 38 and Jadeja will be turning closer to Ashwin as well later this year. But India will be playing 5 tests in England, 5 tests in Australia, and they will play again at home only in September, October. They have just 4 test matches. Who knows where this team will be at this point, at that point in time, if this is the duo's last test match in India, which for all you know, they might still be there. Ashwin will be chasing 600 wickets. But if it is the case, they have the last 12 years have been glorious for Indian cricket, especially at home in Test cricket, and that's because of those 2 match winners. They have carried the team on the shoulders with the ball. They've once and again, every single year, they have maintained this Indian record. Jadeja even admitted that he wanted to finish his career without losing a single Test series in India. But as is often the case, all good things come to an end. Is it the end? Nobody knows, because there are bigger things to focus at this point in time. Indian captain too doesn't want to look ahead. The next focus shifts to Australia series, where India will have to win all the matches, which at this point looks very difficult. But Indian team, that whenever they have toured Australia in the last 7 years, they have been successful. They beat Australia in 2018-19. They beat once again in 2021 as well. Will they be able to do so? We'll have to wait and watch, but it is not going to be easy. It's going to be a litmus test for not just Rohit Sharma as captain, but also the coaching staff. Gautam Gambhir, who has had a rocky start to his tenure, whether it's the ODI loss in Sri Lanka as well as the test loss against New Zealand. All things said and done, this is a team in transition, and when a transition as such happens, there is going to be a series losses, bad ones at best. India have been through such 10, 14 years ago, 4-0 in New Zealand, 4-0 in Australia, 4-0 in England, 4-0 in Australia, after which we saw the legends of the previous generation leave the team. The youngsters came in and took charge and took the team forward. How long this core of players, especially the likes of Rohit, Jadeja, Ashwin, Virat Kohli will be there around, we don't know at this point. But this, as always, things go on. This is a cycle of events. It all will depend on how the next 5 test matches go in Australia, and who knows what lies ahead. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, an historic achievement for New Zealand, probably the greatest ever test series win in their cricket history. For India, it's a moment it'll be a tough pill to swallow. If the ODI World Cup final last year came as a haunting memory, this one will be a very similar one as well, considering how dominant they were over the past decade or so. We will be here to bring everything that happens in the future as well. But for now, this is Gomesh signing off. Thank you for watching.